Hi guys, this is Kate from Teach Your Kids Code. I am going to be sharing a tutorial today on how to use the MYNT 3D printing pen. This is the Pro version. It comes in this box here. So I just want to take you through how to use this pen. I'm going to show you this design that I've made, and I'll link to the full tutorial of how you can make this fall napkin ring holder as well. So this is the MYNT 3D Pro printing pen. It does require to be plugged into a USB plug in order to have power, so you do need to know that you'll need to be able to be close to a power source to use the pen. It's not battery operated. It uses both PLA and ABS filament, PLA being a bit softer plastic, ABS is being a bit harder, but ABS does have the potential for some harmful fumes. PLA is more safe, and so I tend to use PLA, and most beginners use PLA. I'm going to be using this RE1 PLA today. This is the type of PLA spool that you would use on a 3D printer. As you might want to check out my other videos, I do a lot of 3D printing as well, so I'll just use this. But you can buy PLA specifically in smaller bundles made for the 3D pen. So what you do to get started with your 3D pen, first you have to plug it in. And then you do have to choose the temperature, whether it's going to be PLA or ABS. So I'm just going to show you as I move up the temperature here. So I had it set at 175. It's going to switch to ABS when I get to that 190, so 191. Okay, so ABS requires a higher temperature, but I actually want it back down to that 175. So I'm going to set the temperature here. And then the first thing I'm going to do is thread my filament through. So I put the filament into the back here, and then I press this forward button here. So press the forward button. Now it's actually warming up right now. So see, it's going 167. Yeah, it's got to get to that 175 before it will actually move forward. So now it's going because it's reached the temperature. I had already had it preheating. And so you're going to see, I can feel that the filament is moving through the pen. You might be able to hear it. It's a pretty quiet 3D pen, but it's going to take a little bit for it to get through the pen. This is the hot end of the 3D pen. You don't want to touch this. There is certainly a burn risk. 3D pens are kind of like mini hot glue guns, right? And so they melt that plastic and then you draw with it. And so you can see here, I had some red filament in before, so now that's gone and my orange is coming out here. And I'll just, there we go, I can start drawing a little bit here, but I'll show you a little bit more of how that works. So once the filament has cooled, which takes about 30 seconds, you can easily pull it off the paper. I recommend that you use laminated paper. So this is a tutorial that I have on my website. I will link it in the description, and I'll also link to the full YouTube video that shows you exactly how to create these napkin holders. But this is a laminated piece of paper. It's much easier to use a laminated piece of paper than it is to use just regular paper. You're going to get it like peeling off, and it's harder to come off the paper. Laminated means you can use it multiple times. I do have more of a beginner basic 3D pen tutorial on my website, which has things like basic shapes, writing your name, drawing a bubble wand, so I will also link that as well. Essentially what you want to do once you have got your filament is you want to start drawing. And in order to draw, you're going to need to press that forward button, and then your filament is going to come out and you're going to want to draw along your paper. You do want to make good contact with the paper at about a 45-degree angle. And this line actually turned out to be a pretty good line. What you don't want at the beginning here, you can see that it's a little bit globby, a little bit up. That was because I wasn't actually holding it onto the paper. So if you hold it above the paper, you get lines like this, globby and sort of not straight. And if you actually just press too hard, you get sort of, I mean, this doesn't look that bad, but it's really, if you looked up close, then it's thin, and it's not going to be the strongest line. So you want something that's in the middle. This pen does have a speed adjustment here, so you can obviously just adjust the speed of which you move the pen across the paper. But if you like moving at a certain speed because you're used to drawing, then you may want to actually adjust the speed of the filament, and so that you get that medium amount of filament coming out, so it's not globbing up, but it's also a decently thick line that's going to be strong for your drawing. So then you're going to want to get started practicing with the templates. Again, you might want to start with something a little bit easier to start off with, like basic shapes or writing your name. But generally, when you are using a 3D pen, you want to start by outlining whatever shape you're going to do. So I'm just going to get that little bit of extra filament off here. And then I'm going to start by outlining my leaf. And so you'll see that I'm pressing fairly hard into the paper here, and I'm going to make this outline. And I'm not going to go too much further, but this is stuck to my paper. I'm going to be able to outline the whole thing, and then I'm going to be able to fill it in. And at the end, once it's cooled, I will peel the full art off the paper, which is nice why it's laminated, and I'll have my 3D design. So in this case, what I built was this napkin holder template. So I drew the leaf with a 3D pen. I started out with the outline, and then I filled in with a different color the inside of the leaf. And then I did it one more time on the outline. And then I drew a ring several times. I built this up to several layers. And then finally I connected those together by drawing with my 3D pen. So that's how I made a 3D object, by essentially taking two 2D objects and sticking them together. And what this is a fall napkin holder. So you take your napkin, you slide your leaf on there, and that's just going to look really great at the dinner table. So I think this would be a super fun craft for older kids to do. You're definitely going to want to supervise any children, but especially younger children, because this is, like I said, a hot end. But it is fun for kids to use 3D pens and to learn about 3D design. Thanks for watching this guide on how to use the MYNT 3D Pro pen. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're looking for more 3D pen, 3D printing, or coding content. And I will put the links to all of the tutorials and the products used in the description on this YouTube video.